Happy Monday. Oh, I did the YouTube arm. Ugh. Okay. Nice to see you. Haha. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. I basically slept and then didn't realize it was the daylight savings time or whatever it was, the time switch. So that was, other than that, things were good. All right, so today's Monday, and I am working on developing a media kit. I have two sort of projects that I work on. This one, Lady Love being one of them, and another one. And so I am just trying to get my together. As usual, Monday's an admin day, nothing exciting, except the Toronto Public Library has Angela Davis speaking for International Women's Month. Woo. So that's at 7 p.m. So that's what I'll be doing later on this evening. But I will check in with you, as usual, throughout the day, throughout the week. Okay, bye. Angela Davis is about to start. It's very cool. I gotta go to the bathroom.
Now, our host today is Sandy Hudson. Sandy is the founder of the Black Lives Matter movement presence in Canada and Black Lives Matter Toronto. Sandy Hudson also co-founded the Black Legal Action Center. And our very special guest today is the one and only Angela Davis. Angela is known internationally for her ongoing work to combat all forms of oppression in the U.S. and abroad. She is a living witness to the historical struggles of the contemporary era. Join me in welcoming our host, Sandy. Hi, Sandy.
Hi, Sergio. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. And of course, our special guest, Angela Davis. Hi, Angela.
Hi, Sandy. Hi, Sandy.
Angela.
Hi, Angela. How are you?
Well, considering what's happening in the world, I'm all right.
But it isn't a simple question, and we are going to get into some of these questions about individualism and individuality versus collectivism, and I'm really glad that you opened that way. And I just want to say that, thank you so much for being so generous over the years with your teachings to so many people all over the world. To myself in particular, I view you as a personal inspiration. So I really want to thank you with how much of yourself that you've shared with us, with this energy of collectivity. I think it's such a beautiful thing. So thank you for that. Now, we don't have a lot of time, but we have some really complex questions. So I'm going to go through those, and I'm just going to start right away. And I want to start with accountability. I want to ask, how do we do accountability as abolitionists? I've heard you warn us, activists, from shying away from contradictions, warn us against shying away from tensions, implore us to remember that people can change and we can hold people accountable, and I've heard you insist that abolitionism rejects disposability. And I think that this is something that we struggle with sometimes in movement culture. So I'm wondering if you have any advice for activists about how to approach accountability and reconciling harm.
We're focusing in this conversation on the parallels and differences between the era that is covered in the autobiography 50 years ago and the present. And if I think about the autobiography, rereading it, I realized how much we did not know, how much I did not know. And for those who will read the autobiography, you have to read it critically, because I was reluctant initially to agree to publish the second edition because I think things have changed so much. And I say this, Sandy, because as a person whose activism began 60 years ago, I'm a person who's constantly learning from young activists today. And this issue of accountability that you raise has emerged in conjunction with the development of a very different kind of social justice movement, in many ways pioneered by Black Lives Matter and other formations that insist that we participate with our entire selves, that also insist that we're responsible for our actions, encourage people to think about a different kind of justice, to think about a kind of transformative justice that would still call upon us not to cancel people immediately, which is what happens. Cancel culture, I think, is very is counterproductive in so many ways.
Hi, hello. Just checking in for Wednesday. It's just been admin. I'm sorry. This is not top quality content. I have just been emailing with agencies and confirming some work for the future, so it's just been that kind of day. Yeah, this might be a very short vlog this week. We'll see. I always forget that Wednesday's the day I usually record or upload my podcast. So that's what I have to work on today, as well as doing some other stuff. But that's not going to take place until a little bit later on this afternoon. Emotionally, if I want to share what's going on, things are just like March, waiting for like the weather to get a little more consistent so that I can be more consistent with outside activities and like just venture out without feeling hindered by the temperature. I did a lot of reading over the weekend and over the last few days. There was a lot of drawing yesterday. I can post that here, some of the drawings that I've been working on, but I haven't felt the need to vlog that because I'm still working through exactly what my plan is, what is meant to happen over the next 6 months. I've stopped even counting like next year or in 2022. It's like the intervals are getting like quarterly, between 3 to 6 months. What am I going to do? What's my plan? How am I going to pivot my business? How am I going to work out what that's going to look like? Because it's been eye-opening that I'm transitioning out of tech. It's like early retirement. Yeah, it is early retirement. And so I just want to make sure that my self-esteem wise, that I don't do more harm than good to my self-esteem. I'm just trying to figure out how I'm going to participate in community now that the pandemic is over, now that community has changed in itself. I want to figure out how I can be part of new communities and build a new body of work, build a new directive, build a new direction of what I do. Basically what's been on my mind. I'll share a bit more later on this week when I figure out kind of what it is, but it's time to pivot. Retirement, it's here. Welcome to Laney Loves to Talk. I am your host, Laney Love, and today, on this misty evening in March, we're going to be talking about the social experiment. I want to talk about what's happening in social media right now and the pivoting that's taking place, all of the good stuff that's been going on. This morning, I listened to the Creative Pep Talk this week, and it talked about how we should use our social platforms for experimentation. This was episode 357-3, and they talked about how artists have experimented with their art form in order to find a footing. What's going on? What's going on? Come on, come on, come on. Come on. Yes, I know I have a problem. I can eat this every single day, but I love it so much. I love it. I love the way I do the potatoes. I love dipping them into the egg. I love it. It's not my week.